Hey, what's up, Scott Balcom here with Imagination Creation Films, and today it is Friday, March 11th, 2022, and it's a great day. It's a great day to be live streaming. Why? Because it's Friday, and it's kind of my time, and somebody asked for a little haze, so I got a little haze, and like literally right before right when I hit start, it belched a bunch of fog out. It's a little too much haze here, but it provides a little ambiance. I had to bring down the key light just a little bit, just to keep it nice in here. How's everyone doing? How are you? How is your day? I hope everything's going really well. I hope it's actually live streaming. I hope it's good quality. Seems to be there. That looks good. I like it when it looks good. It says I'm live right now. That's always encouraging. So yeah, we got a great show today. We don't really have a show. We just have a live stream, and the live stream is, well, for you. I mean, and for me, because I'm lonely and just need things to do on Fridays. But yeah, it's also cold in here. We had a cold front blow through like first thing this morning, and didn't have a chance to kick on the heater. So yeah, I got a little warm in here. But as I get animated and start moving, it'll probably this will probably come off. But yeah, let's see who we got out here. We got the Lewis. Hello, Lewis. We back, baby. We are 100%. We got King. Hey, King. How are you? We got me. Oh, it's me. I'm here. Lewis says, I got the 12 terabyte WD Elements thanks to your recommendation. Did you shuck it yet? Shucking is fun, but I mean, if you don't have a place to put it, then don't shuck it yet. But yeah, if you need help on shucking, I can show you how to do it with this handy prop right here, which is a pre-shucked drive. Oh no, I dropped a hard drive. Yeah, it's pre-shucked. We got Gerald. Hey Gerald, how are you, man? You doing well over there? What do you got? What do you got in your hand? Oh, okay, I thought you had like a YouTube 100,000 subscriber thing. Hey Johnny Betts. Excuse me, Jonathan Betts. Very, very nice to meet you, sir. Let's see here. Life isn't the best, but these little things that you do really help me keep going and get excited. Well, I do understand that. I do. Life is all over the place. And if life wasn't a roller coaster, if we didn't get those lows, then the highs wouldn't feel as good. I mean, yeah, think about it. Life is just a balance, and it's just trying to just just gotta make it easy for everybody. Lewis says, I will always support you, Scott. Thank you forever, your kindness and honesty. I'm happy. Anything. Wait, is it? Oh, I had to pre-read just to get to that. I'm like, we also have Johnny Pets. Yes. Hello, everybody. Hello, Luca. How are you? Liz did not shuck it. Okay, well, shucking is easy. I can definitely show you how to rip that open here in a little bit. Let's see, Luca. Yeah. Ollie. Hey, Ollie. How are you, buddy? Good to see you here so early. It's I was thinking about it when you said it last week. I was like, I have been getting these off early and then leaving at 6 when my time. And then when I used to do it, I would start it, I think, at 4 and then go to 7. And yeah, definitely more and more people would get on because, it was later in the evening. And I was trying for the life of me to remember, why in the world did I start at 3:30? And I remember because my internet would go poo by 6 o'clock. So I just decided, it's worth it. Lewis says, it's honestly 2.5 times faster than the Sleazegate 6 terabyte I have. It would be, but remember, when hard drives get fuller, they slow down. So your max speed right now is on the outside of the platters, and then as it gets in, it slows down. It's not because it's spinning slower relative to the head inside, because they actually partition they have them in segments in there, so they make the segments the same size regardless. It's just the speed of the rotation when it gets to the inside. Lewis says, my best friend Ollie is here. Scott, you have been searing steak in there again, or what? Yeah, so when I first, 11 minutes before we went live, I know this because I happened to look at the clock, I had it fired up, and I dumped a bunch of fog in here. And because the floor is cold, the floor is not insulated because I'm lazy. The floor was cold because it's 30 degrees outside. It was a low-lying fog, and I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. I'm gonna keep that. I've never built a low-lying fog machine before, which is pretty easy to do. I just never had a reason for it. But the natural coldness of the floor, fog just was on the ground. I was like, that is cool. And then I walked over here to my seat, and it created a flurry. Yeah, it was no longer cool. So I grabbed a flag and just started doing my thing. Yeah, Johnny signed into the wrong accounts. Thank you, Johnny. Say hello to Jonathan when you get a chance. 08, hey, how are you? On the other side of the world, indeed. The world it's just a sphere. It's just a sphere. And even when you're at the North Pole, there's always the other side. Is that the new port keys I see? No, I don't know what you're talking about. No. What do you mean? Yeah, there'll be a review shortly. Very, very shortly. Shortly. Well, it says, you're right. Life is a crazy roller coaster, and we're all trying to make sense of it. Yeah, exactly. I get that. The only place I have to put it in is my Drobo 5D3, and I gave up on that thing. I don't care for Drobo. I know some people get a lot of love with them. Not my favorite. Not my favorite at all. You're right. We need to take the bitter with the sweet always. We got Ken watching from Edmonton. Well, hello, Kinetics. Kinetics. Ooh, Kinetics. You could almost be kinetics. I kind of like it, kinetics. I bet you enjoy saying it. King says, I'm feeling the fog, Scott. It has that sleep. Actually, as it's kind of chilling out in here, it's looking a little better. It was so dense earlier. And I think it's time to clean this cheap fog machine. This is one of those American DJ Dino Fog 2s. It's not the best. It's not my hazer needs to be cleaned. This one needs to be cleaned because when I push the button, I can't because I didn't pay attention. But sleazy 80s, I like it. I could I would need to dumb up that lens a little bit, get a little more character out of it. How much should I leave on the drive around for you? You don't need to worry about that. I mean, you could fill it up. Just understand that it goes from about 180 to maybe 200 megabytes a second while it's writing on the outside, and it'll go down to about 90, 95 on the inside. That's life. So don't max out the drive. No, absolutely. Max it out. Go for broke. Have fun. Use all the bits. It just slows down. How you doing? Fill us in. I'm doing well. The little life changes that I have embarked upon are doing some positive things. The jury's it's partially out. It's the jury is the jury's in deliberations right now. We'll put it that way. But the positive things, good things. It's a thing. Did you get excited for the Mac Studio, or are you like me? What you have works good already. You got this. So here are my thoughts on the Mac Studio. I think it's pretty darn cool. What I don't care for, and I'm gonna preface that with care for, because it's not that I don't like it. It's just that I don't care for what they did. Going to the multi-chip, continuing it on with the what do they call it? The Ultra, which we kind of knew was going to happen. I thought maybe they were going to come out with a different chip and then join them, but they just went ahead and joined them. And then the Mac Pro will just have two of the. No, yeah, the Mac Pro is going to have two of those. And then what I don't care for is the price increase. So yes, it is absolutely going to be a powerhouse. But to jump from the Max to the Ultra is like $1,100 or $1,200, I think, which is basically the price of another Mac Studio base model. So they're clearly marketing knowing that people are going to buy the Ultras and that's where they're going to make their money. And I don't fault them for that. I just wish the price was a little less. I kind of figured that it being without a screen and all of those fun things, that it would come in my configuration where I would like to be somewhere around $3,500, $3,699. And instead it's like $5,000. That was a little disappointing. But if you have the money, yeah, that's going to be awesome. And I think the sweet spot is the 48 core GPU with 64 gig. I don't think that 64 gig is the correct match to the GPU. However, to jump to 128 gig is a massive jump in there. It's $720. Well, 800, I think. $800 is a big jump in RAM. So I think if you were to compare the M1 Max with 64 gig to the Ultrium, I want to call it Ultrium, the Ultra at 48 cores with 64 gig, I think you're going to see massive improvements in performance. I mean, like 60, 70% maybe, because you're getting double the CPUs and then double all the encoders as well. And I mean, your GPUs will be a little less, but I think it's kind of a sweet spot. That's my 2 cents for now. We can talk about it later if anybody would like to. This is my favorite set of yours. Well, thank you very much. Lewis, you may need more if you're going to keep most of your footage. This is true. Ollie says, Apple came through with the goods. We'll be upgrading my M1 Mini to the M1 Max Mini. You mean the Studio? Also, I did hear in the rumor mill that the M2 processors, which they will announce with the MacBook Airs, are also going to be in the Mac Mini, the new Mac Mini. So that's probably fall, if I understand correctly, and then Mac Pro will be next spring. That's kind of what I'm understanding. But the M2s that they're going to put in the Mac Mini are gonna be a little cooler, little cooler, and there will be a Max Mini. Right now, there's not. King says, "Good point." Yep. I don't know which point it was. I'm cruising along slow here. I need to pick up the pieces. Yeah, gear doesn't matter, but the gear keeps life fun. New things always, new shiny things. We're like, yay! Lulu, hi from France. Hello. Or I literally just lost how to say hello in French. That's boop. Okay. King says that Mac Studio has me tempted, but I will hold out to see what else is coming. What I understand, nothing else more powerful than the Studio is likely to show up this year. as the way I understand it. I don't believe we're doing an iMac Pro anymore. And that was based upon the last statement that the presenter made when we said we'll have one more computer, but that's for another day. But I mean, Mac Pro could be coming soon. You don't know. So 8K Red, will it play smoothly on the M1 Ultra? So, I mean, 8K, it all depends. On Final Cut Pro X, it will play smoothly. On DaVinci, on a 1080 timeline, it plays smooth. With the M1 Max, that is. So the Ultra will be more powerful and more capable. Why? There are very few people on the planet, really, who have an 8K timeline with an 8K monitor and are scrubbing 8K. So I don't think that's as big of a deal. And software is a little smarter than trying to display all 8K when you're not on an 8K monitor. So I think the Ultra is going to be pretty phenomenal. I know my buddy Tommy, who may or may not be listening down here, it just depends. He's on the M1 MacBook Air, and he was holding out for the Mac Mini, and he's kind of on the fence here. He knows how much I love the M1 Max, and so he's tempted by that. He's tempted by future-proofing with the Ultra, but you know it's a big chunk of change to do that. Yeah, so I mean, M1 Max is really, really powerful. The Studio with the Ultra, it's just more powerful. Sorry, I was going to cough and I couldn't get to the button in time. It was just going to happen. 8K is the new 720. Yeah, I mean, just think in a few years we'll be like, 8K, really? Wow, bro, upgrade. Time for some 16. Yeah, exactly. I thought it was just so funny that they shucked an iMac 27 display and tossed it. They kind of didn't. They took the LG display that they have been selling forever and increased the brightness ever so slightly, 100 nits, and then put an iPhone, 12 or 11 mini in it. It's just the little A14 or A13 chip, and they gave it some speakers and a camera, and that's about it. It's a nice display. I was definitely interested in it until that price. That price, I was like, no, that's not good. I mean, I have my Dell ultra wide in there. It's 49 inches, and it's basically, well, it's not a 5K display though. It's 5K wide, but it's only 1.6K tall. So it's not quite that one. And it's fine. And it has like 500 nits. So I'm not upgrading for that. You can only get Thunderbolt 4 in the front if you get the Ultra, which is interesting. Well, that's because you have more pipelines. So Thunderbolt requires PCIe to make it so, and there is a maximum number of lanes that you can take off of a processor. So the M1 Max, the maximum number of lanes equals out, I guess, 4 per Thunderbolt. Is that in Thunderbolt 4 or 8? I think it's 8. So 32 lanes. And by adding the second processor next to it, even though it's connected, it's 2 processors. It has its own set of new lanes, so they can give you more Thunderbolts. I mean, technically speaking, with the Ultra, you could have 8. They just only put 4. But I mean, you've got 4 in the back. You could daisy chain 6 devices. It's 40 gigabits per Thunderbolt 4. It's a lot. It's a lot of bandwidth. I would be interested. Yeah, I would love to see them with an external chassis for some of that stuff. Okay, let's see here. Max spec is $11.43 in Canadian dollars without a monitor, so I'm sticking with my iMac. I feel that. I believe the iMacs are mostly LGs. Yeah, they are. LG makes really good. I'm not going to stop it, Facebook. LG makes really quality stuff. I like LG. Any upgrades after this will be diminishing returns for most. The studio offers so much. I agree. I also think right now, I think 128 gig are going on the studio is going to be tough to maximize unless you're doing very specific tasks. And I don't think editing, I don't even think some 3D work is going to maximize it. We'll need some stuff to really be keyed into the GPUs on the Apple Silicon. As soon as that happens, though, then we'll start seeing it. We'll start seeing it go. Let's see. You can get some of those 300 hertz. I've seen that. And you're like, I can't even see that many frames per second. It's interesting. An LG with an 11 Pro chip. Yep. It's basically an Apple branded 5K. I mean, that's what they've been doing. When they stopped making their cinema displays, they just used LGs and just sold them. Why is it not clicking when I click? The Mini Max Ultra Pro Duo. You got to do a Duo in there. So what do I need to buy to watch 8K RAW playback? Give me all the power I want, Scott. Well, 8K RAW. I mean, I'd have to do the math on that. But I guess, I mean, you could play that back. It's not that hard now. Nowadays, it could be done. It's the decompression, debearing, all of that takes its toll. So if you're just doing straight raw, you can do that now. You only need like 800 megabytes a second, I think, something like that. I don't know. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. When the M1 Ultra Mega Plus S chip comes out for the Mac Pro, I hope we get an updated XDR display, at least 8K. Yeah, I don't know if it's 8K. There are going to be 3 Apple displays. I mean, the cinema display, the big one, is really nice. But if they came out with an 8K, then they couldn't sell the 6K. Or the 8K would then have to be 10 grand, which no one's going to buy. Well, 7 people will buy it. So the 6K needs to come way down in price, which I don't think they're going to do. So I don't know what they're going to do there. Who knows? But there's supposed to be another one. Ooh, so you think they're going to tease the iMac Pro? No, there's not going to be an iMac Pro. No iMac Pro. It got pulled as far as I can tell. Beyond Nick. Hello, Beyond Nick. I can see Beyond Nick right now, and there's a sunset, a beautiful, beautiful sunset. Well, I mean, it's Apple. Plus, they want you to buy what you buy today. And then 6 months from now, they want you to buy the new thing and just sell your old one because they ultimately win. They just keep buying. Gear doesn't matter. I completely disagree with that. At base, it can be true, but mostly used wrong. Yeah, I mean, it's correct. Gear can hold you back, but it's typically not gear holding you back, unless, certain cases. There are some artists out there who are so freaking amazing. There are some DPs and some directors who are so amazing that gear's holding them back. But for most of us, no, gear's not holding us back. But at some point, gear's holding us back. I guess that makes sense. What do you currently use, and do you have any reservations against it right now? You need any upgrades, or are you happy with what you have right now? Lewis, give me some context. What are you referring to? Cameras? Drink? Laptop? Compression ratio also plays a massive role. It does. Compression, you can make your CPU work for it. Do you think the new Mac Pro will come out there? So what I'm hearing is the event that we just had is going to be the event next year with the Mac Pro. That's what I'm hearing, but my gut tells me no, that they can't do that. I mean, they can do anything they want, but it would be too long of a delay. So I suspect it's going to piggyback with the M2 announcements on uh, the fall. So you're not going to spit out anything. You can just hear it. I need to clean it. It's definitely clogged. Come on, spit something out. Come on. No, I gotta turn that off. All right. We're just wasting electricity there. Okay, Lewis says, oh. Okay, so you're saying that the people that need the power also have the money to handle it? Not necessarily, but there are people that need the power, and there are people with money that want things. And if you've earned your money, yeah, you should spend it on whatever you want. Artur. I think it's right. Here's one. Lots of YouTubers keep making the you don't need type videos. I know the intention behind it, but still, what's your take on it? I mean, I make those as well, and I try to preface that with focus, attention. I turn it off and now it spits out. I did the video, the 10 things to think about before you buy a camera. And that video was about, these are all the things that you need to consider before the camera becomes the most important decision to make. So there is a lot to the you don't need. There's also a phonus to the you don't need. There's I'm as guilty of it as anybody. As we get better, we acquire more gear. We better ourselves because we do reach points where, okay, I need a brighter light. Okay, I need a sharper lens, or okay, I need more resolution, more dynamic range. I need more fog. At some point we get there. So, I've been doing this quite a long time. I've acquired a lot of stuff. So when I do the video, people can look at me and say, but you're shooting it on all the stuff that we want. Or, some, not everybody. There's lots of stuff that other people have that I want. So try to read into the message, because communications are hard. Unless I am directly answering a question, if I make a statement, you can interpret that statement in many different ways. And if it's written, if it's, someone types it up and puts it on a post, how you read that can be interpreted further than how someone speaks it, which is further than answering a question with context. So gear is not the most important. Cameras are not the most important. Lights are pretty darn important for making your films look better. Sound, acting, directing, pre-planning, the thing I suck at. All of that is far more important. And I watch that video if you haven't. But yeah, I understand. I understand that both sides of that. Johnny says, I'm surprised it wasn't mini LED. That's the next one that I understand. The next display is going to be mini LED. So we'll see that one when we see it. Yeah. Mini LEDs are there. We're at that technology point. On the MKBHD podcast, they said it was the exact 27-inch display, but you're right. It's a Frankenstein without 120 hertz. I'm paying extra for it, honestly. It is the same. They just got them to tweak the output. Every spec about it is the same. And, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's a nice display. LG does a good job. That's what I need, a sinus pill. I don't want to dance the Apple dance anymore. I don't want to play. He just runs off. That would be good. Let's see here. Hide my wallet or I'll start buying with my ego. Well, I mean, that's a problem. Credit card DPs are a problem, and we have all done it. And that's something that I try to share with so many. Don't be the credit card DP. Don't put everything on your credit card to expect to make the money out of it, because now you're becoming subservient of your debt, and it's not fun. It's not a good position to be in. Oh, wait. Now that you've explained it, you're right. The I/O is certainly impressive, but I want all the ports. This is my precious. My plan is to stay M1 Max and PC desktop for now until the Mac Pro replacement. It's very fair. Talking with friends, if I was not at the M1 Max, if I did not upgrade to that, what I did, and this came around, I would probably be at the MacBook Pro. The MacBook Pro. If I hadn't purchased that then, and I waited until now, I probably would go back and buy the MacBook Pro for me, mostly because the price for the Ultra was more than I was willing or able to spend. And so I would have been basically in the same point. I mean, I could get the Mac Studio with the M1 Max, or I could get a laptop with a ultra high bright monitor, HDR capable for the same. So yeah. Lewis says Ali has a point. Ali has a lot of points. He's pretty good about that. Did you get your everyday carry? No, I did not get my everyday carry video done yet. I will add it to the list. We'll see where I get to place it. Will Mac Pro keep the same port? No, it will not. For PCI Pro Tools, I have it in the Sonnet chassis, and I think I'm going to go for the Mac Studio next year. Pro Tools HDX Ultimate. I think that Pro Tools is going to need to move to a Thunderbolt model. There's no reason that they require PCI Express. I mean, you put it in the chassis, like you're saying, it can run on Thunderbolt. I guess for PCs it is, but I don't know. I think Apple should keep the PCI Express slots. I don't know if Apple is keeping the PCI Express slots. What I've seen is it's about half the size of the Mac Pro. So yeah, I don't know. Ali says 400 extra for height adjustment on the monitor is still allowed. It is. They're very proud of their patented hinge. I'd be down for the King Crux 8K XDR display. Would be insane. Yeah. You know what Carlos taught me? Gear without skill is interesting. Yeah. The shame would be to have the means to have the gear, but it outgrows the skill level. I mean, if you have the means to have the gear, then, you test the waters, you find your skill set, and you adapt as you go. I mean, everything should be, with the exception of technology, everything should be stages in buying. I didn't start off with cinema glass. I started off with photoglass. I still use a lot of photoglass. You gotta go. The lights, I started off with tungsten lights, then I went to fluorescent lights, then I went to HMIs, and now I'm in LEDs. And I mean, it's about progression and kind of a little technology in there too. Context. Well, is there anything you can't live without, or something that you have your eyes on? Not right now. Well, I mean, if we're dreaming and wanting. I powered you off. I mean, that red V-Raptor is calling my name. It's calling my name. Speaking of which, if anybody's in the market for a red Dragon X, I am about to post it. I've got it all. You can see it piled up on the table over here. All of everything that goes with it. I've got a lot of accessories for it. I will be posting it soon. So if anybody's in the market for that, it's time. It's time to release the dragon off of my which I've had a dragon in my hands for like 6 years now. It's going to be sad, but the future awaits soon. but not immediately. King says, if gear didn't matter, then not only would anything above 2K be pointless, but all companies can wrap up. I mean, it's true. Gear is not the only thing that matters, but gear matters. That's probably the better way to say it. Buy once, cry once is definitely a thing. 1 year is too long for Apple. They're milking it. Yeah, they are. But they also don't want you to compare against the Mac Studio versus the new M2. They don't want you to go, I have a decision to make and I can only buy one. They want you to buy both. Gear matters when it matters. Fair enough. Why are you guys so pumped about the case? To be honest, I've never had a customer in the last 3 to 4 years asking for specific high resolution. I have customers that want stuff in 4K. I don't have customers asking for stuff in 6 or 8. But the old adage, garbage in, garbage out, the more Ks you give it, the better it looks. Plus, with a bared pattern sensor, if you take an 8K image and you bring it to 4K output, you have a true 4K resolution output. There's a lot to that. 6K gets you most of the way there. And the same thing with going to 2K. If you start with a 4K image, your 2K image will be full resolution 2K. There's something for that. They could tease at WDC and then reveal the new MacBooks in September. They could, but WWDC is about development. So they haven't done a whole lot of hardware at those. Not always. Good points, Ollie and Kings. I actually stopped watching sponsored videos because most of the time they don't even use what they're selling. It's a shame because sometimes they're good. It's tough out there. I mean, people got to make money. If your job solely is YouTube, then you need to put them in there. Now, I've done sponsored videos, but the sponsored videos are only things that I either use or will use. That's it. I mean, I won't take a sponsor that I won't personally use. I don't think it matches. I think it's disingenuous to your audience to do that. There are some people who are blatant. There are some people who kind of use it, and there are some people who are truly good and use it. But I understand why they do it. Point being, if you see a sponsored video from me, let's give it a watch. You know, I might have something good to say. However, a sponsored video from me, Lewis, since you're relatively new, a sponsored video from me will never contain my opinion. It will always be based upon what the sponsor is asking me to say. That I agree with. I have to put that in there. I will never say something that I don't agree with. So if someone sends me a lens and they say this is the best lens, and I say, okay, well, I've tested it and I don't think it's the best lens, then I will not state that it's the best lens in there because, I mean, my name is on it. I'm going to only state things that I agree with. So it's a tough area. And I mean, believe me, I've had conversations that ended the moment I said, I won't do that. And they're like, you won't? Oh, well, thank you. And then they move along. And that's fine because I have standards. I tell my wife is off today. Need sinus pill and heater. There we go. Let's see here. You think the comparison of YouTube gets people to buy things they don't need instead? I mean, YouTube, there is definitely a market for that. I mean, influencers, as much as we say they don't matter, they clearly matter. The They can push things. They can push things, and I mean, you get someone with millions of subscribers. You only have to hit 1% of their subscriber base to buy a product to make it so unbelievably successful that the company will continue to sponsor. I mean, it's quite interesting how all that works, and the amount of money that the larger YouTube channels get for a sponsored video, it's staggering. I do not get that kind of money. I don't have the numbers. I don't have the numbers because I don't play by their rules. I don't play their games. I do me. I'm just me. Definitely read between the lines. 100% valid point. Yep. Okay. I work in VFX. If gear didn't matter, then all production would look like Peter Gabriel. Hey, I like Peter Gabriel videos. The things that are most important are the most neglected, like storage and lighting and sound and acting and deck and wardrobe and Yep. That was literally my yeah. After MKBHD said the Raptors saved Sisters Monstro, I don't believe anything. Well, okay, so don't be so hard on him. He's a nice guy. He just got it wrong. He didn't. That Red does not share much information out there in the world before something is out there. So you kind of have to find it and get it and ask and repeatedly ask and kind of prod to get some details. So when he got it wrong, I mean, it was wrong, but I mean, he got corrected and he put it in the bottom. He's not going to go and delete his video and re-up it. So, I mean, it's okay. We all make errors. It is everything they learned from Monstro. It's the same shape, the same, a lot of things with Monstro, but it's just better. It's not Monstro. But he was, I think what he was trying to do is apply the logic that a lot of other brands, not necessarily cameras, but electronics do, where you increase the style, then you add technology. Then you increase the style, then you add technology. So when you have the add technology, the next model release of that just looks better, but it's still the same technology. So, I mean, I think that's what he was trying to apply to. I know he said that, but I don't think this one, plug that one in there. My fog machine, it needs to be cleaned. It decided to not spit out any more fog. Yeah, so I think he was just trying to apply that. I think it probably made sense to him at the time, and he didn't have enough details to say one way or the other. So I don't think I wouldn't trust what he has to say. He's a generally good guy. A generally good guy. I mean, I've never personally met him, so I can't give you my Scott Balcom read, but I don't get a hint of disingenuous with him at all. I feel like he has, kind of like he and Linus, to me, are YouTubers done right, whereas they have a code of ethics that they follow or try to the best they can. And I give them 100% credit for doing that. Credit card DP, that's a lot of pressure to put on yourself. It is. You're right. Wait, what made you take the leap back then, M1 Mac? I wanted, so the M1 MacBook Air was, and I did the thermal mod on it, which you need to do if you have the MacBook Air with the M1, because it is, it'll thermal throttle. Thermal mod is literally just unscrewing some screws in the back and putting some thermal tape on two places, putting it back together, and it connects the processor, or it actually connects the heat pipe to the aluminum chassis. So it'll make your laptop warmer, but it won't thermal throttle. But I didn't have any problems shooting and using 6K on the M1 MacBook Air. It was when I had the Raptor here for a week. That's when I was like, okay, 8K, you just destroyed my M1. So I needed something. That's why I went to the Max. King was shocked too when I heard that in his video. Yeah. You made me laugh out loud on that. Yeah, okay. People don't know what they're saying. Yeah, okay. Wait till you tell us you choose to upgrade, the reasoning and why do you leap? Wait, can you tell us when you do choose to upgrade? Yeah, I think I just answered that and why. Dog, what's up? Long time. Sorry I missed you in Utah. We still need to get up. We do. Yes, dream big, Scott. How far am I behind? Okay, I need to catch up on these here. Okay. The V-Raptor is calling your name. Oh my God. It is. Red needs to sponsor you, Scott. They should. Red has been so incredibly wonderful to me over the years, just in everything, just in friendship and so much more. They do not need to do anything for me. However, if they want to set up a affiliate, I would take them up on that, but I don't think they're going to do that, and that's completely fair. Ollie says, I'm not giving up on Dragon anytime soon. Most filmic sensor, you are correct. You are correct. Just have to work around the low light issues. You are correct. It is a beautiful sensor, and it's going to be, I'm guessing, a few months before I'm going to be able to get my V-Raptor. But I feel like the market for me right now, as well as some life things, says Dragon needs to go now. And there are things I'm definitely going to miss. Dragon has really good time lapse. Dragon has a little more dynamic range. Dragon has the frame processing, and I really love the frame processing. And frame processing, if you don't know, it allows you to stack multiple images on top of each other to denoise or to add apparent brightness, but it does so in like a time-lapse mode. So it works great for motion control product shots. That whole, if you watch my probe lens with the going over the guitar, I did not have enough light to be able to make that work. So I shot it with the frame, there's frame averaging and frame summing. I forget which one is which. I think frame averaging is the one where it decreases noise. Frame summing is the one that increases brightness, but it also increases noise. So I used frame averaging and shot it slower, and it allowed me to pull off that absolutely gorgeous shot right over the guitar neck. It was cool. I'm gonna miss that a lot. Plus, it shoots 6K at 100 frames a second. I'm gonna miss that. Komodo's gonna get me through. It's gonna get me through for now. But yeah, I'm gonna miss that. There's no question. How did you improve your composition, Scott? I suck at composition. Studying books, movies, or experience over time. Yes, all of the above. I study everything and I watch everything, and I come back and I try to replicate everything. And I talked about doing a series where I was going to do shot for shot, try to replicate what someone did. And I always talk myself out of it. And now maybe I'll want to dabble back into that and do that. That's one way, but I do it. I literally do it here. I just don't shoot videos on it. I just do it for myself. I feel composition is one of my weakest things as a DP, and that probably just got me off of a bunch of jobs. I could do it, But I haven't fully clicked in my brain drawing up the shots ahead of time. I do it mostly on the fly. I mean, unless we all have a team and we're all thinking together. I mean, if I'm sitting around with a couple of people and they have different ideas, I can see the whole thing, because it takes someone else to say one word that triggers my brain to see it. And it's what happens. But when I'm by myself and I'm shooting my own little short films and stuff, or just stuff I'm working on other people, it's really hard for me. So yeah, I'm great at composition for anyone who needs to hire me. It is my weakest trait for sure. Phil Holland. Hey, Phil. How are you, buddy? Different markets, different demands. Some people are still delivering 720p. Interesting. Small portion of people are finishing well beyond 8K even. I don't know who's delivering at 720, but I guess that's still possible. I guess so. Not a chance. September is iPhone and watch me. Yeah, okay. All right. Beyond says, hey, Phil. Brandon says, taking sponsors that don't fit your channel ruins your channel too. That's true. That's true. It does. And I'm very, very particular. This channel to me is not only pro and it's not only beginner. It's literally everything, which is tough because I don't want to be niched in there. I always, when I say words, I always think and like make a little note as to what word gets me demonetized wrongly. I get demonetized every week for something that I say in this. I always win when I ask for it to be revoked or redone, but it always happens. I don't understand why. And I think niched might be it. I don't want to fall into a niche. I want this channel to be a community of filmmakers of all levels, because that's how we learn. Because I promise you that there are some DPs who are 100 to 1,000 times better than probably I'll ever be. And they can learn something from someone who's brand spanking new who had a different thought. So yeah, that's why I want this community to be broad. About the 4K, 6K, 8K, yes, the higher resolution can help me with VFX and global shutter. Global shutters is pretty spectacular. That's Komodo. That is happiness right there. Blackmagic is releasing in April. New controller for DaVinci. What new camera do you think? I'm pretty sure it's going to be an 8K, better designed, no longer a potato football camera. And I believe it will actually have a pretty good image compared to the 12K. That's good to know because I trust you. Thank you for trusting me. However, Louis, I say this a lot on my channel. I say something, I want you to take what I say in consideration, but never as gospel, never as law. Always make your own decisions. You're the one that has to live with it. You gotta feel right about your decision always. And I mean, take my advice and weigh it with everything else and make your own decisions. I've seen people post sponsored videos on YouTube, and then in their moment, course, masterclass, or keynote speech, they'll say it's actually shit. I did it for the back. Yeah, those are ones that, and I'm not mentioning names, but those are the ones on my radar of, yeah, I don't watch them, and I don't watch them. It's pretty hard to tolerate that kind of silliness. Also, after being encouraged by some friends, I am now branching out into the world of voiceover. So if you are looking for a deep voice like mine that's probably not picking up very well on the lapel, then you can have a voiceover by me. Coming soon, very soon. I will be doing that. Yeah, I mean, people say I have a voice for voiceover. I will try. I will do my best. So if anybody's interested, I have a variety. I can do that. Oh yeah, thanks. Look at NAB prediction. NAB predictions. Yeah, yeah. I think NAB is going to be an interesting year this year. I'm not sure how many are actually going. I mean, Black Magic loves NAB to many other manufacturers' detriment. And they're going to release some stuff. And I mean, honestly, they a new control panel. If they would add things like add serial node as a button, please, or some record button would be great because like I do talk over my videos sometimes, and just being able to punch in with a controller would be nice. We'll see. We'll see. For me, 8K allows crops for 4K delivery. It's true. The same way 4 did for H. Yep. And I mean, everything just looks better 8K down to 4K. Trust me, that WD Elements was the best thing I bought. So shucking those. So right here is one of them. All you got to do, if you got good fingernails, you can get in there. You can also use a plastic part. But all you're going to find is somewhere right there, you'll be able to kind of pull it apart. You're destroying the drive when you do it. Do both sides. Sorry, it's there. So that you pull off both sides. There's little tabs on everything that'll break out. This whole thing slides out. In here is a hard drive, and the hard drive is mounted to a couple of 4 rubber items. And then there is a little board that's on the back of right here. You just unscrew 2 screws, and then you slide it off. This rotates out. Pull it out. Take this. You throw it in the trash. Take your hard drive and just drop it on the table. You can. I mean, hard drives are great. You can bounce. These are dead, by the way. I know some of y'all just fell out of your chair. Those are so dead that I absolutely cannot resurrect them. I literally just have them back there to one day drop them. I dented my table to do exactly what I did. Lewis says, thanks for the honesty, Scott. Yeah, anytime, always. There are more Ks, better for the VFX. Yep, that is true. Linus is from my city. Oh, very nice. I see you being best BFFs more so with Peter McKinnon over MKBHD. I don't know. I like them both. I think their personalities, I think, are both really cool. I would probably have a lot of fun with Peter, but I think I'd probably get along more with Marquez. That's my gut. That's my gut. Phil, what do you think? Who do you think I'd be more in line with? I know Phil will have an opinion on that. King says VFX totally understandable. It's pretty interesting that you can mod the air. It's very easy. It is very easy. There's a whole bunch of videos on it. I was going to do a video on it, and then I looked out there. There was a bunch of videos on it. So anything under 8K, the M1 MacBook Air can handle. It can to a point. I mean, you got to set some things up to make it work. But yeah, I edited all of my 6K and 4K on that M1. No problem at all. It was when I did 8K, I brought it to its knees. The biggest problem, honestly, I think was not the CPU. I think it was the RAM, because I had the 16 gig model, which is the most you could get on the M1s. And DaVinci wanted 40 gig to run to export the 8K, and that's what killed it. So you upgrade when your needs exceed the gear you have. Yeah, that's right. Ready to catch up? We're behind. Okay, I'm going to power through here. I'm glad that Red is good to you as a future Red owner. I have my eyes on that Komodo one day. Yeah, Red is a very good company. There are people that just hate on them, and I honestly don't know why. I have to believe much of it is misunderstood. Much of it is just the silly game where you say a word in a circle, you whisper it in each other's ear, and then when it comes back around to you, it's a completely different word. I think a lot of that is that people read something, regurgitate it to someone else, who then reads or hears that and regurgitates it to someone else. Red is not without their flaws. Don't get me wrong. I've said numerous times the things that Red did that was like, I don't know, but Red as a whole absolutely cares about filmmakers, cares about making good products and doing great things and doing the things necessary to get things in the hands of filmmakers as affordably as possible. When they recognize things that they've done that people don't like, guess what? They change. And they did. Komodo was prime example. Here's Komodo. Guess what? You can use your own batteries. You can use batteries. You can use your own media. You can. Everything about it was simple. And V-Raptor, kind of the same way. Yeah, there's stuff that they can make better, but yeah, Red is a great company. I really, really like the people at Red. I don't think I've met anybody at Red that I didn't like. Some of them I just want to hug, but it's let's see, Zero. Question to Scott and maybe some other people in the chat. Looking to buy a black arm Ronin 2 setup. Not completely sure what to buy. Of course, I've used it before, but came as a single package from a rental house. I am not versed enough in them to have an opinion, positively or negative. I get talking with people. I don't think the Tilta version is that great. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's that great. I think probably other people would be better suited to answer that. I just can't. I haven't done anything with that. My extent of car shots involves running a Movi or a Ronin 2 on an isolator and mounting it hard mount. It'd be cool to have a Russian arm, or not Russian. Well, it'd be cool to have a Russian arm too, but it would also be cool to have a black arm. I can't do every kind of shot. I have recently decided that car shots, as much as I love them, it's not going to be my focus. So I'm kind of not doing as much of that. Lewis says, so that's how you improve your composition. I'll try to look at photo books. I've never thought about just copying the same focal. Literally, take your favorite movie, run to any scene that's indoors or whatever, hit pause, and try to figure out how they lit it. Look at every shadow, look at every light, look at every bounce, see how everything's done. Because, it's worth it. Beyond says, Cinemill do some nice bits from rigging point of view. Yes, Cinemill is really good. He's a nice guy. There's a Facebook group. I think that's his group, or is it generic? It's got like 7,000 people in it. There's a lot of rigging in there. And yeah, Cinemill is good company. Need to play around with some frame processing. Yeah, Ollie, it's cool. It's cool. Try it. Just remember, if it makes it brighter, it's going to make it noisier, a lot noisier. And it uses time lapse and slow motion to do it. It's kind of weird. It's because it's taking 4 frames and putting them together. It's magic. I wish Komodo had that. That would be kind of cool. I just don't think it has anywhere near enough processing power to do it. I learned so much from you, honestly, Scott. Thank you forever. Oh, you're welcome. That's why I asked a lot of questions in my film school. Y'all slacking on the likes. Hit the yeah, where we at? We need some more likes. You're right. You can choose who you support, but it's a shame you got this to sell. Yeah, exactly. Carlos, hey Carlos, how you doing, buddy? Oh, there's his. Hey, where's the bubbles? Where's the bubbles, Carlos? He's got his new artwork that he's put out there, and one friend already took the liberty and modified his artwork So I had to join in and modify his artwork. I mean, it's like a canvas. Carlos is like a blank canvas for us to mold and shape Carlos the way we would like. How you doing, Carlos? My question is, in terms of relationships, how important is your network and your client? A network is huge, huge. Network will give you far greater reach into clientele than just clientele. And you need a network. Well, you need them both, but network to me is paramount to success with clients. I really think. You can literally shuck with your feet. You might. I mean, it's harder to do than I just did because I've already broken most of those tabs. My wife's going to come in here and go, "Did you throw a temper tantrum? You just throw everything on the ground?" But yeah, you can use a flat blade screwdriver. What you don't want to do is ram a screwdriver in there because you could scrape against the circuit board on the hard drive. But they use the case poppers. They're little plastic. They look kind of like thick credit cards with an edge on them. You can use that. You can use a putty knife. Just be careful. Don't. If you're going to use a pocket knife, just do it in a way you don't cut yourself where it could slip because it could. But yeah, they just break and come apart, and then you slide it out. The top rated Amazon review was shuck and be. It's exactly my point. I mean, if you ever want to know, there you go. And also the SHR versus CMR, SMR, SHR, CMR, SMR, CMR. Wow. The shingle drives versus the non-shingle drives. Those will always be in the comment section too of Amazon reviews. I would like to see an SDI video switcher similar to the A10 Mini from Blackmagic. I think they will oblige you there, Carlos. I think that's going to appear at a budget. Yeah, I think it will. How much am I behind? Man, I'm in Carlos territory here. I'm so behind. Give me anxiety to drop those drives after I. Yeah, that's what gets me. How much RAM you running now, Scott? On my MacBook Pro M1 Max, 64 gig. If you're going to get the 32 cores, get 64 gig. I think that is absolutely critical if you're doing video work in high resolution and graphics, that kind of stuff. If you're doing word processing or day-to-day stuff, you do not need 64 gig. Yeah. On my PCs, I run 96 gig in my main Windows workstation. I have 32 in another one that I use. I literally feel like a kid playing with Legos when I think of the red camera modularity. You're not far off. That's what they do. They build a brick and you build off of it. That's always been what the red philosophy has been. But then people started complaining about it, so they're like, we'll just build it all in one, and now you can't complain about it. The unified RAM is a kicker. Yeah, I found the 64 gig is ideal for medium-sized timelines in Premiere. Yeah, I agree. If you're getting the 32 core, you do not buy the 14-inch. Unless we're talking about, if we're talking about studio, you can absolutely, you can't get 32 gig in it actually. If you're getting 32 GPU cores in a 14-inch laptop, you will never get to use the 32 cores to their limit. 24 cores is more ideal in the 14-inch. The 16-inch has enough thermal capability to handle the 32 GPU cores. And if you have 32 GPU cores, 64 gig is only 2 gig to each of the cores when used at max. It's not a whole lot. If you think about things, it's 64 is definitely right. Carlos, have you tried the Blackmagic Ski to HDMI? I mean, I use this thing. This little Dubaflachi here, which looks very similar to the Blackmagic, but only costs $37 on Amazon. Please use my affiliate link down below. That thing is amazing. It does exactly what the Blackmagic does for $37. probably $42 for Canadians. Brandon says, maybe that's totally different, but that's what I use to stream with my Komodo. Yep. I've met so many DPs who rented a Red one time, never took the time to educate themselves, and then they blame the camera. Yeah, you're right. I mean, Red is not a just show up and shoot. It's not. I think like an Alexa is kind. I mean, there's little things you need to know, but if you came from the film world, you could go right to it, put in your values, push record, and you're going to get a good image out of it. Red is for people to use all the data that's there. All the bits are there. Red lets you have so much more power. I think, though, with IPP2, they actually took a step back. Graham, Mr. Magic, I shall call him, the master of color for Red. Graham, I think, decided, or was decided with him, that IPP2 would take people a new direction and help them with all the power that they still have in Red, but give them that very usable image right out front. And I think IPP2 is pretty magic. I think Graham's pretty magic too. As a long-term Komodo owner, can you talk about it, please? Oh, absolutely. I absolutely adore the Red Komodo. It has some limitations. You need to know those. Those limitations are frame rates. The frame rates are limited. There is no ability to increase them because there's not enough horsepower in there to get more frame rates out of them. Inversely, though, because there's not a lot of horsepower in there, the thing draws like no power. The whole unit, I think, consumes 28 watts. I think it's less than 30 for everything that it does. 6K in Red Code RAW. It is a unbelievable machine, and it's tiny. It's tiny. It's not tiny right now. It's built out, but I mean, it is. It can be very, very tiny. You put a small lens on there, you're not old like me and you don't need monitors, then, I mean, you can rig that thing out so small, and it's fun. And it has global shutter, which is huge. Other limitations, it is 4K SDI, which is 12G, so you have to make sure that you follow the install or plug and unplug very carefully to avoid damaging your SDI port, because all 12G ports have this problem. Follow the rules when you're connecting and disconnecting, and powering off and powering back on, and changing out batteries. There's a protocol to follow. Do that. I mean, Komodo is really cool. It also has limited time-lapse ability. They've added some, I think talking to some peoples, that they're going to add a little more, but I don't know how much more. I hope if you're listening, just give me the half a second shutter. Just give me that. Just work on that one. V-Raptor has a lot more capabilities when it comes to that stuff. But I absolutely love it, and you're right. You didn't say it, but you're right. I need to do my review of it. I actually forgot to do the review on it when I did it. I don't know why I forgot, but I will do a long-term review on it. But spoiler alert, this is hands down one of the best cameras for even more money than the Komodo costs out there on the market. Period. Hands down. Yeah, great camera. Whew, okay. I said I was going to catch up, and then I spent 10 minutes talking about myself. I haven't, Brandon. My capture card can only read channel audio. I'm working on a new capture device. Gotcha. Okay. Carlos is here. How you doing? Good to see you. Yep. Carlos, hey, Louis. I liked it. Carlos, bet you're glad you have a Tesla now. Huh? No, Carlos was not happy the other day. That is funny though, Carlos. You need to go do an update to your post. When you started ranting on your Tesla in the winter, now you're probably not so upset about it today. Yeah, that's what Ollie was basically saying. So yeah, the A10 Mini freaking rocks. I love it. But you grab Blackmagic Ski to HDMI and you can use the Komodo no problem. Yeah, exactly. You know what I don't like about the ATEM? Well, it has problems syncing video from different sources. When I start throwing a bunch of different types of cameras, it will start doing some flaky things. Like it'll flash, it'll go blank. I also do not like that the video, and I'm pretty sure this is what it is, that the video levels on the ATEM Extreme and the Mini and all those are set in the non-full. So they're at 16 to 235 on the values of not IRE, but the values of luminance instead of 0 to 255. And thus, everything comes out a little more contrasted. For instance, this coming out of the Sony here does not look like this coming out of the Sony. This adds more contrast to it, and you can't stop it. I don't like that, and I don't know why they won't fix it. I also don't know why Blackmagic won't allow Thunderbolt output devices to work on a hub. Network net worth. That's good, Ali. I like that. That's good. Spudget. Hello, Eric. How are you, sir? I hope you're still on here, man. I've been talking. You posted that at 4:36. I'm only 10 minutes behind, but you're always in and out. You come in. Hello, Eric. Eric, the wonderful owner of Kessler Crane. Use my affiliate link down below if you wish to buy anything. He's a great guy. Really, really great. Oh, and that's up to him. Carlos says, my electric bill this month was a few dollars under $800, which is the cheapest it's been all winter. Okay. I will not complain about my electric bill, Carlos. I thought my electric bill was really high, especially for what I have here. It turns out my heat pump basically died, and it's been running all winter. That's why it's so high. My electric bill was $500 and something dollars, and I was devastated because that is not normal. I'm usually around $250 to $3-ish, and that's with everything I have running here. $800. I'll just shut up. Art, there's a group on Facebook for car rigging. Yes, them. Your setup, it might be conscious of the rig's weight. Yeah, yep. And it's a great place to ask that question. If you run a Tilta, have you... Okay, Art said it better than me. Yeah, I don't get lots of good vibes from the Tilta, just from what I hear. Thank you for the confirmation, Beyond Nick. Yep, glad I could help, Lewis. There we go. Vasily, hey, saw the Batman. Wow, what a film. Also, for this year's Oscars, take a peek at Jane Champion's Power of the Dog. I will do that. I haven't seen Batman yet, so don't spoil it. The Komodo would have to be pried from my cold, dead hands before I get rid of it. I feel you, Brandon. I feel you. We wife and I always do these what if tragedy struck tomorrow scenarios. We run through them all the time. Just what would we do? Where would we go? All that kind of stuff. And literally, this was the one thing out of everything that I have here that I said, well, that would never go. That's just not, it's not negotiable. This thing is my bestest friend. My wife's my best friend, but I mean, this thing is it's too awesome, especially for so tiny. Scott, I can't find that blue and red side as an option for Komodo. Well, King, it's because it was a limited run, and it has a name. Well, it has two names technically. The original name Bye Bye Blue and Balkan Blue. It's Bye Bye Blue, but it kind of got the nickname Balkan Blue by me. Yeah, it's not available. They, I mean, if you send them a bunch of money over Komodo's price, I'm sure they can work something out. But they won't make a purple one. They won't. He just won't make a purple one. No purple. I would rock a purple one. I could totally do a purple one. But I love my blue. It's so pretty. 08 says, Vasily, I agree. Look at the area anamorphic. Oh, yeah. Beyond Nick's, the blue was a one-off color. It was a 10-off color, I think. I don't know. I don't know if the man is listening or not. He could say how many there are. I think it's only 10 of the blue. I know Vincent Laforet has one, and I don't think I remember who else has them. There's the original orange, Grossman Gold. Then there's the fire yellow, and I forget the guy's name that did all the shots during the forest fires in California, and he was in there. And the yellow, then the Bye Bye Blue, and then there were the one-offs. Well, there's the FU green for for the man. Carlos says, you forgot to review. I'm so lame. I forgot to review. I will do it. You know, Jared's sitting back there going, you ever going to review that thing? You know, I mean, come on. You've had it for how long? You're never going to review the camera that you use a lot? Let's see here. I have no choice but to become a celebrity and get a blue Komodo. I'm not a celebrity. Boy. But I guess if you're a celebrity, you get the cool, incredible brass one that they gave, of course the name just slips right out, Aquaman. That dude, well, I mean, it's heavy, but I mean, he can lift it. He's all muscles. That is a celebrity awesome one there. I always find myself forgetting how great the Komodo actually is because you just shoot. Yeah, that's true. I think the best compliment I've given it was I didn't think about it. Or I didn't think about if something was shot on Monstro or Komodo. It makes a beautiful image. It is the cheapest red you could get. New. Yeah, because Raven was cheaper and then it was more expensive. And you get 6K red code global shutter. It's cool. Let's get out of here. Brandon, that's really interesting, Scott. I've personally never had a visual discrepancy using multiple sources or the weird over-contrast issue. The over-contrast issue is a big deal. People have that. There's a whole thread on it, and people tell them, oh, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. It's a big thing, and everybody just kind of said deal with it. You know, those forums, you never get a reply. Well, rarely get a reply from Blackmagic. It's something I just had to live with. So I just kind of take out a little contrast on all these cameras when I hook them up. Clarity, you hate red until your order shows up. Then you love them. That's fair. It's like Megan Fox cheats on you, and then when she's back, it's all good. Yeah, that's fair. Thanks for the heads up, though. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, investigate it. I mean, it's pretty apparent when you see it. And I mean, it jumped right out to me. It was just instantaneous. I'm like, I don't like this. Why is this doing this? Beyond Nick, what is your favorite focal length to shoot on the Komodo or your Holy Trinity? Yeah, there you go. Nick, what's your favorite there? Brandon, have you noticed the same issue using different stream platforms like Zoom or Restream? Absolutely. It's the output from here. I can take the HDMI out, go into my capture device, and it's got more contrast than if I take the HDMI out from that Sony, this Komodo, that Sony right here, that dragon back over there. I ran out of cameras. All of them will have more contrast going through that. And then it's even worse if you use the webcam output. So if you hook up the USB into it, it's even worse. Really depends, Lewis. Can't go wrong with the Trinity, but I tend to shoot wider to get the similar look of Monstro's full frame. Yeah. Shooting wider also on 6K allows you to punch in a little bit, gives you a little bit of flexibility in post. Scott, would it be possible if you could break down the Komodo rig you have on your desk right now, please? Is there an updated video? Yeah, I can break it down. Let me queue up. This rig is, let me hide your comment for a moment so you can see it. This rig is very specific for a very specific need. But breaking it down, it's pretty easy. Just pop it off here. There's the buttons on the bottom. I wish Tilta hadn't done that. Okay, there. This comes off the back. This just comes up off the back. I don't need to remove that. Then up here, let me disconnect this. Disconnect power. Notice my SDI is not plugged in, folks. It's not plugged in. And then this comes off. There's a viewfinder that we will say nothing more of. This is all Velcroed in here because I like cable management. And then this is what I came up with to mount the monitor with the viewfinder. We'll put that off to the side. And then because I have both the viewfinder and the handle and the monitor on here, I have a really long red branded NATO rail. And then NATO rail comes off, the handle comes off. I could break it down, might as well. What else I got to do? So let's pull up the right size tool. I had the right size tool. I just wasn't turning it because it's up against the edge. That's why. Okay, there we go. I was in the right one. Let's pull up a question while we're going. Beyond Nick, you are a gem. Thank you. Yep, there you go. I tend to shoot wider too, but have been challenging myself for the 28 to 65 focal length. Good fun. 650. 650. I think, let's see, MKBHD got the matte black. But the matte black is the stock, is it not? Did he get a custom color? Now I don't know. I thought it was just the fact. Jason, yeah. Jason Momoa. He's the man. Finally watching countless hours of YouTube has paid off. Dang, I really want to see blue or brass Komodo. Okay, let me finish turning this down. So then here, then I have a Tilta handle here on my Tilta side rails. Let me just disconnect the SDI off the back here. These, and this is how I typically run. I like the red side handle because it has start stop right here. Because Jared didn't give me my start stop here. I normally run the Mutiny. Man, I just totally blank. I'm the world's worst at remembering things. This guy right here. This is my Mutiny button. My Mutiny trigger. So satisfying. But this guy mounts right up here on the front normally. And that's how I trigger, because the DSMC 2s and 1s had a record button right here, and they didn't put it on this one. So Mutiny made a little one, put it right there. I like the Tilta cage for it. I find it very satisfying and useful. Out of all the cages, it's the one that I tend to use the most. And it has NATO rails on the side. And then let's see here. Woo! Don't scratch my screen. Hopefully I don't get too far behind on the comments. Is that stripped down enough? How about that? There's the beautiful blue. She's so pretty. She's a baby blue, a bye-bye blue. She's a workhorse. I do like her. And I mean, you can use the BP batteries. This comes off the back, and then you just put normal Canon BP batteries on the back. Now I have a mess on my desk again. My wife's going to come in here and go, I thought you worked on cleaning your desk. Let me put this over here. I don't want to hit anything. But this is the handle for the Red. It's really nice fit. Also GDU, which is not Red, but made by two people, Jared and forgot his name. GDU makes some awesome the cowboy handles, various ones that go on the side that are really slick. GDU makes some really good stuff. And then this is my old DSMC 1 handle that I had that I put on DSMC 2. And then I moved over to Komodo, which gave me a whole lot more grip and warm, because when it's cold, having a metal... okay, finally, it's warm enough. Having a metal handle when it's cold sucks. So, yeah, I like the rubberized grip. Okie day. Let's, where are we at? He wanted to see Komodo, ha ha ha. That's why Red video on him was dope. Let's see. Which Red video on who? Which one we're talking about? Do you care much for film cameras or Leica, or are you more into video? I like film. I just don't shoot film very much. I bought all the stuff for a dark room, and I didn't actually build it out. It's all back there because I wanted to shoot film. I just don't have time to shoot film, and it was one of the reasons that I wanted to shoot film was to artificially force myself into some time. Yeah. Also, the Mutiny True 12G SDI cables, very nice, very good. Let's see here, Lewis Scott. When you're on the job, are you the one doing your audio or hire? It totally depends on the job. I mean, I much prefer to have an audio person because their sole job is to make it sound good, which is far more important than making it look good. Because if your audio sucks, I don't care how good it looks, it's just not going to work. Every stress on set gets mistakes, and the less things you have to worry about and deal with, the better. Now, a lot of my jobs are small, so I'm doing the audio, and I mean, I've made mistakes. It sucks. I mean, prime example of stressful situations and also excitement making you do dumb things. Watch my Komodo unboxing video when I plugged in the microphone into the headphone jack on the Sony. And so you had horrible scratch audio. And that was my deal. And I mean, I got roasted on that. But what can I do? It was my unboxing video. I can't redo it. The brass Komodo was the coolest thing. Yeah, the brass Komodo is absolutely awesome. It was so cool. I was really shocked when I heard it was like 6 pounds or something like that. But I mean, it has to be. Jason Momoa got some tilt accessories in brass. Oh, nice. That's got to be fun. If you're a celebrity, you get Bayhem. You get more than one Bayhem. The FU green is pretty slick. I'm always conflicted because I love the fact that I shoot with Stormtrooper, V-Raptor, and Komodo, but also love black cameras. I'm assuming what you're saying. Yeah, I feel you, but the truth is, in most cases, you should never be in a position where you can see the camera. And of everything else on a camera, the lens is the thing most likely to cause and show up because it is the most reflective thing right on the front. And yeah, the lenses are black, but the elements sure aren't. They're reflective. oddly enough, because they're coated. Yeah, there's a thing in magic. And, one of the simplest magic tricks on the planet is the plastic thumb tip. And, you buy the plastic thumb tip, you can pour salt in it, you can put handkerchiefs in it, and you put it on your thumb, and you present, and you do your things. And as long as you're continuing to keep the audience noticing, they won't notice that there's a plastic thumb tip. And when I was younger and first getting into magic, and I was at a big magic shop, and I love that magic shop because the guy would demo everything and show me exactly how to do everything. I told him, I said, well, I need that thumb tip because it matches my skin color better. And he looked at me and he said, son, you're focusing on the wrong thing. He said, let me demonstrate. Let me use an off-color thumb tip, and let's see if you can follow. And so he does the whole thumb tip and everything. And then when he comes out, he shows his hands, he had a bright steel thumb tip on his thumb. It wasn't magic. He didn't put it on there and, a sleight of hand. He was using it the whole time, but because of the way he was holding his hands, and you point directly. Notice when I'm pointing my thumb, you don't notice the color or that anything's on there because you're watching and hearing and interacting. Same thing with a camera. You should not see the camera, so who cares what color it is, except for those of us who like the colors. I'll leave it. Too true. Let's see. King. Stormtrooper is nice too. The only thing about the Stormtrooper that I would be afraid of is like it getting marks on it and showing up because it's white. It's like you buy white tennis shoes and you're like, oh, I scuffed it, and I scuffed it with my own other shoe. It's I'd be concerned with that with white. But I mean, on the flip side of that, I baby this thing so much. I never rent this camera out unless I'm on set with it, period. It's my absolute steadfast rule. And it costs me rentals. I don't care because this is very special. It's very special. Have you had any experience traveling with? Oh yeah. Do I keep it rigged out and walk through the airport, or do you keep it in this case? So I break a lot of rules when I travel, and I travel with my cameras a lot. Depending on the types of jobs, I may not break all the rules. Sometimes I'll use Pelican cases. I have a stack of Pelican cases that I rig out. I put all this stuff in backpacks, and when I'm in control of my gear, so the backpacks, I take the fully rigged out red in the backpack, and I take it on a plane, fully rigged out. I break rules that Jared Lamb would go, and that is I leave the monitor attached to the camera when I put it in. Now, I do protect it from damage because what happens is the monitor on the DSMC2, this is not going to demo because of this right here, which we'll turn around and put down here. And there's a comment on the screen, so I can't show it. Okay, so the monitor goes to it's doing it. It only stops right there. It doesn't. You can hear it's not actually touching it. What happens is something hits the monitor and it snaps right here, and it's going to cost you like $800 to repair. I put foam under here and I put foam on top, so I protect it from smashing it out. Now it can still have damage. It can still get damaged, but I am so overprotective of my gear that I don't get damaged. I mean, look at this thing. It looks brand new, but it's got hundreds and hundreds of hours on it. It's not unused in any way. I baby my stuff because, I spend money on it, and I don't want to, I don't want to hurt it. I mean, a lot of people have their tools, and you should treat them as tools. And I mean, there are times when I do that, when, like Casey Neistat would say, don't be afraid to put your camera in danger. I mean, it's true. I will do that at times, but not that much danger. Okay, let's see here. Nice SDI protocol, Scott. Yeah, I got to follow it. I blew my port out. It sucked. I thought I was doing it right and I was doing it wrong, and it cost me. So don't not do it right. Just do it right. That's all it takes. Forgive me for asking, but how do Komodo owners keep it stable? Or are you always shooting on sticks? You mean just like holding it? Well, I mean, practice helps you hold something stable. And then the other advantage is global shutter is less apparent when it's shaky, and you can stabilize it easier because you don't get the jello that happens. So yeah. Cool tip for Komodo users here. I've been using cable management sprigs on all my rigs. They're a game changer for tightening up my rig. Interesting. I will look into that. It is more of a matte with his logo. Okay, he's cool. He's cool. We know that. Love all these old. Love those old. Yes, they're this thing. The Red Pro, that NATO rail. I've had that thing since I bought my DSMC1 back in 2015, 7 years ago. I've had Reds for 7 years. Wow. And I love that thing. Just like I bought this with my first DSMC1 as well. It's a weird design though. Everything about this is opposite of what I would want it to be, but they don't make it anymore, so it doesn't matter. Probably because it was opposite of what it needed to be. I don't know. I feel like a kid in a candy store. Thank you for sharing this, Scott. Is there anything you could do differently? I enjoy the stuff. So I normally run very lean. My normal rig is this handle. Sometimes this handle on the side, not always. The run stop on the bottom left. And then I will use usually the OC monitor, the 7-inch, but this is the port keys here, and usually not on this rig. This rig is for flexibility to move it around, and because if I'm going to put both a viewfinder and a monitor on here, silly enough, I want the flexibility to move it around. That's my rig. I mean, that's how I run it. I keep Komodo really small. I'm usually using stills lenses on it, but I mean, there are times that I'm not. Cinema glass works great. Brandon says, I handle it all the time and just stabilize it and post if I need. Exactly. Brandon, you are a tank. That's a special skill. It's practice. Always know your craft. Yeah. I'll have to customize my Komodo myself. Yeah, I mean, people do the wraps, but some of those wraps can get really silly. I've seen a few that I was like what is it, Justin? What's his name? Justin Phillips in L.A. His was like camo wrapped, and I'm like, that just looks weird. I didn't say it was good. I just said that's how I do it. I got you. Okay. But I also don't rig it out. Just batteries and a grip, no monitor. Yeah. I mean, Brandon, I wish I had good eyes again. I am doing everything in my power to avoid using these little guys. Because the moment you put this on, people are like, oh, an old person's here. Let's crowd around. Or I put this on and some kid sits in my lap and goes, I want a football for Christmas, and I want... Yeah, no. I'm doing everything I can to avoid those things, which is why I rock the 7-inch high bright monitor. Yeah. I chuckled. I didn't say it was good, but it worked. Yeah. It was, Matt Trimley. Holy moly! Batteries and a grip and no monitor. It has a screen right there. It's touchscreen too. I mean, it's quite nice. I mean, if you have good eyesight, you can absolutely work with it. It's not ideal, but you can absolutely work with it. Also, a lot of people have been adapting the loops from Mamiya cameras, I think, or some of the older cameras, and you stick it right on top, and then you use it as a viewfinder. Not sure if you have seen any of. I have not seen the 1001 yet, cropping in, but it upscales to 4K in Topaz for a pretty sweet image. Yeah, I don't have Topaz, so it's on my list of things to investigate in the future. But I'll probably do it once I get my hands on a Raptor. The GDU Quantum top handle is sweet. Yes, indeed. Topaz is really good. Everything I've seen from it is really good. And when I was doing, when I had the V Raptor, a friend reached out and wanted to know what it looked like with slow-mo. I sent him the raw footage, and he sent it back with Topaz, and it looked pretty good. That was 600. And that was the footage that I messed up on, which was interesting. I did a few dumb things, and my later footage was even better. So I would like to see the 1001. Art, do you have any that I can see? Like, send it to me somewhere so I can see that, because I have not seen any actually. My question: shooting manual glass, how do you nail focus without a monitor? Just patience. Tools: edge, enhance, peaking. They're not perfect, but they do work. Peaking, putting the illuminated edge around. You can just pull and look for the colors. It'll help you get there. Shoot not wide open. Give yourself some breathing room. No pun intended. Actually, pun was intended, but shoot at like 5.6 or T4, somewhere in that area, so you can actually have some depth of field to stay in focus. That will certainly help. That's how I've set up on a tripod most of the time. Interesting. Lewis, just use the focus peaking. Yep, exactly. Then use the footage marks on the side of the lens. That, if you're using cinema glass, that is a definite way to get right. If you're shooting a 1.2, good luck. Oh, yeah. I need to catch up with my own comments here. I was always trying to bulk up my rigs and doing handheld for whatever reason. Heavier. It does. Mass doesn't wiggle. Mass doesn't move. So bulking up does give you a smoother image. And doing a lightweight camera, it's tough. It really is. But practice is good for everything. I would like the red battery from the Raptor to work on the Komodo, but the GDU looks very sweet. The red battery is V-mount. It can go on there if you just get an adapter, a V-mount adapter on the back. There's a lot of them. Core, Tilta, they all make them. I like the Tilta. Even with the issues, they fixed them, or they're fixing all of them. Take everything with a grain of salt and breathe and get through it. For anybody wanting to change the color of the Komodo, Alpha Guard makes some pretty slick skins. Scott is talking magic now. Now on game. I love magic. I do love me some magic. I don't have any around here that I can do, but I can definitely do some magic. I can do some magic. I am going next level customization. Stickers are I think it'd be funny. Like in school, the old Trapper Keepers that had all the stickers, you put all your stickers on it. That's what we should do. Just start putting all the decals you get. It's called misdirection. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And misdirection works great. I'm an amateur magician. Thank you very much. I am also an amateur magician, a very amateur, very, very amateur magician. I don't have anything. I don't. Oh, well. Maybe I'll just do one here. So we all have, the heck? That's my wife's hair. So an iPad. This is a general iPad mini. A lot of people are like, how do you, that's really lame. Really lame. Normally I do it with a pencil. Let's see here. For me, the marks on the stormtroopers represent memories. The show. I mean, fair. I do have like a nick on it, and it hurt. It hurt my feelings. I don't get why, especially Chinese companies, make white lenses. Well, they're doing it to match the stormtrooper. That's literally why they're doing it. I do the exact same thing with backpacks all the way. I love my backpacks. I still love my Mountain Smiths, even though Mountain Smith, we talked for a little bit 5 years ago, and we haven't talked since. And they don't make near as many camera backpacks. I love the two that I have. Well, I have three, but I mean the two that I use all the time. I love them, but they didn't want to build the backpack that I wanted them to make. Couldn't agree more. Zero. Most of my work is car shoots, so I'm constantly battling all reflections. Yeah, well, in that case, yeah, that is definitely one. And dulling spray is just not so cool when you want your car to look cool. Ye old red top handle is the opposite for me. It was all opposite for me too. See, but I unscrewed the handle in the front part and screwed. I did too. This is opposite. So I'm not alone. Very good. Scott, I know you like the Irix lenses. I just picked up the Viltron locking EF to RF speed booster. They work very, very nicely with that speed booster. Interesting. Oh, you mean Viltrox? Viltron. I was like, Viltron? Viltrox. So how dirty does it make that image? I thought I had heard something about Viltrox not being really good with the glass in there. Art says, I do have it, and we'll send you a Vimeo link. Thank you, Art. You are my brother from another mother. Well, thank you, Art. Fun fact, Scott, I performed at Caesar's Magical Empire with Jeff McBride many, many years. Wow. That's kind of cool. I like Jeff McBride. I have a lot of his VHS tapes. I like him. Jeff McBride is awesome. Yeah, my favorite thing with magic, I like close-up magic. I like examinable magic, and I like comedy magic. I love who was that? What was the guy's name? McBride was they're not in there anymore. All the VHS was literally in there. There's the one guy had the mullet. It was all the VHS tapes, and he kind of talked like this. He kind of have a Jay Leno kind of talk, but he was such a good comedy magician. Oh my God, it was so good. What was his name? Yeah, he kind of talked like this, and he would go, "Excuse me, man, would you like to come up here?" Whatever his name was. I love his comedy. Also, Penn and Teller. I love Penn and Teller. I love that kind of stuff. It was like 300, not dirty at all. Interesting. I will check that out because that would be something fun to play with. That's what I was, a close-up magician. Did a lot of street and restaurant magic. Yes, exactly. The roaming. That's literally what got me into magic. I always loved magic, but I never considered magic until I was out in L.A. This was back in the 90s, and I was having dinner with a friend, Mike Mullen. He was the Mac guy to the stars back in the day, back when they couldn't just answer their own questions. He was the guy that did all the work for all them. But Mike, we were all out at Red Lobster of all places. I don't know where that Red Lobster was. And there was a traveling magician. His name was Mr. Magic. And he kept coming back to the table, and I was mesmerized because he was so fun at it. And he was a comedy magician as well. And then he invited us to the Magic Castle, which is tremendous. That was all it was. I was hooked. And then my wife forever hated me traveling to Vegas because every time I'd go to Vegas, I'd go to every magic shop and buy magic. And I lived in Houston at the time, and they had Frankel's Magic. which has a lot of magic. I have his VHS tapes too. Yep. There's a great magic show on Netflix called Magic for Humans. I didn't know that. I didn't know. I will find. I love watching magic. There's most of the magic now is all on YouTube, and it's hard to. It's hard to. Man, the fog is gone. It's hard to find good magic. I was really lucky. I was 16-year-old kid hanging out with. You know what my magician name was? Great Scott. Yeah. Hanging out with Penn, the Pendragon, McBride, and every once in a while Ricky J. Nice. Thoughts on the 40 millimeters Vazen? I have test footage, but have not reviewed it yet. I like it. It's quirky. I like it. I have full set here, and I'm in the process of reviewing. Like you can see inside here, I have the 28 right here, the 40, and I have the 65. And the 65 is really cool. I mean, really cool. But I mean, you're really up close. It's both wide and telephoto at the same time. So there will be a review on those in a few weeks. But I really like them. But they are not for everything. And they do have some quirks, but they have the right amount of. Hey, I got my first follower on Twitch! Yay! They're the right amount of quirky for anamorphic, and the right amount of sharp. I like them. I do. I'm learning so much. Thank you for the masterclass. Ha! Anytime. Magic for Susans. By the way, how did you hook up with the 3-lens set of Vazens? I have a friend, and I asked the friend if I could borrow them to do a review, and my friend said yes. I like friends. Friends are nice. I like those Vazens, but damn, they are very, very heavy. And I mean, like you put it out on your Komodo. Let me hide this right here. And it goes, dunk. It's very, very heavy. And the 65 is even bigger. It's pretty big. But, I mean, it's anamorphic. There are no small anamorphic, I guess the 28. But, I mean, there's not really very many small anamorphics. And they so on the Komodo, you can't do, what do you have to do? You can't do the full resolution 1.8. You have to do the 4.3, which I think is 5K, or else it will vignette on the sides. Okay, Brandon says, interested in the anamorphic that Laowa are doing. Yes, indeed. The best part of the show. What do you think about Martin Scorsese's films? I like them. Some of them are a little slower than I would like them to be. I like twists and turns and constant amazement. Probably like why I like magic. And Scorsese does do that quite a bit, but it takes a long time to get there on some of them, and so I like them. He's a favorite, but I wouldn't call him in my top favorites. But yeah. Have you guys seen the Suri FF anamorphics they're coming out with? Seem like a good option for budget anamorphic lenses. I have not played with it. I have heard some people that liked and some people that did not like the Suris. So I don't know. The jury's still out on that. I mean, the same thing has been said about the Vasins. Some people didn't like them. Some people did. I like them. I think they're fun. I know there's a couple other anamorphics coming that are going to be super sweet. Hey, look at that! Just the watch, just ding, just right at the same time. Um, so Brandon likes the Suri. So that, I mean, it's I mean, everything is a flavor. Everything people like, people don't like, and you have your own flavor that you like. And Brandon is in the camp of likes his. So I mean, take that for value here, because if you like Brandon, then you must like his opinion. And if his opinion is the 50's good, you gotta kind of look at it. I mean, I have not played with it other than at small amount, so I can't. I can't. I have not fully reviewed it. Art, darn, networking. Yes, networking. Really, really, really nice. How often do you shoot anamorphic versus shooting without it? Oh, I shoot anamorphic 5% of the time. Mostly because my projects don't dictate it. When they do, I like anamorphic, but not everything. I mean, there's something special about that wonderful romantic comedy shot in anamorphic. It just doesn't. If it doesn't tell your story or enhance your story, it's not exactly the right tool for the job. There we go. Let's see here. Beyond Nick, I like how you're thinking. I'm curious too. Brandon says it's a nice middle ground between the little too anamorphic with the 1.33 and too much with the 2. Yeah, it's 1.5, isn't it? And that was one thing that that's 1.5. That was another thing. I prefer much closer to 2 myself. And I had the Anamorphic, the 1.33 adapter, and it was okay. I just didn't like it that much. It was less awesome to me. I just like more of that effect. So the 1.5 probably in my mind is also kind of like, I don't know. These are 1.8, which it's pretty close to 2. It's pretty hard to tell. But yeah, I mean, if you are balancing, trying to get some of the character that Anamorphic gives and some of the features without going overboard, then yeah, probably 1.5 is kind of nice. Beyond says, I think there's always a time and a place for anamorphic. At Lewis, shoot dependent for me personally. Yep. I've got a good video on it if you want to watch it. I will watch it. You can send it to me. 5%. Okay. I just love that look, but not too much. Yeah, I mean, I would love to do projects that I get to shoot anamorphic all the time. That would just make my day. It would be phenomenal. But it's right here. But I don't have that option. Hey Rex, what's up, buddy? He heard the door and he thought I left. Scott is the magician with the funny voice. Michael Finley, yes, or Finney, not Finley. Yes, Michael Finney. If you ever have the option, if you ever, Eric, you would like him too. If you ever have the ability to watch him, I don't know if he's on YouTube or anything, but I mean, that guy always has me laughing. He's great. The Suri 1.3 is okay, but the 1.6 has a little more. Okay, so it's in there. Okay, I need to play with that. I need to find that. I'll go find a friend and borrow one and give it a feel. I feel like now I need to not write it off. Like maybe there's something to it. Lois, it really depends. Talking Head YouTube video looks kind of funny. You know, you don't need really, really wide Talking Head. Some serious drama B-roll or something like that looks badass depending on the situation. Scott, it's a 1.6. Okay. Ulanzi is 1.55. Kind of makes you wonder how they get to these numbers. They're like, I don't want to do, if I tweak it anymore, I got to go twice as big. I totally understand now. Thank you, Brandon. It helps a lot. Okay. HMI versus LED. Loaded question. I don't think it's loaded anymore. I mean, you still have to have the right tool for the job. So, I mean, if you're talking over a M18, then you don't really, well, you do. I mean, Mole Richardson has a 10K and a 20K LED, but, you know, they're very costly. I personally, I guess he needs to go to the bathroom because he's out there dancing and prancing. I tend to like LED a lot more because A, it's cooler, it's smaller typically, it's lighter weight, maybe not the 1200, and I just find it more versatile. I mean, LED is the future. It's what's going to happen. There's no question. The metal halide discharge is eventually going to wrap up. And for everything that I shoot in the scales that I shoot, I mean, M18 is about as large as I typically go so far till I get bigger and better. So LED is, and then with the aperture 1200D, it just shut all those other doors. And I had HMI here. I owned HMI and I sold them. When did I sell them? I guess I sold them when the 600D came, because I did a test with it against the 600D, and then I sold it. Let's see here. Sold both of them. Can you speak on the use of lamps in filmmaking? I want to buy more lamps for my background now. Well, so what I do here, I use the Aperture B7Cs. I do like these a lot because they work. They are battery powered. They charge on a normal light socket. You can put them in light sockets, and these are on. They're bright. They work. And you can have a ding bright idea. Wow, that is really unnecessarily bright. Let me turn that off. Thank you. So I like these a lot. And that's what I do on all of these lights back here. All of those are controlled with Sidus Link. Let me get out of the way. I loves me some Sidus Link, because you can do anything you want with them. Let me load them up here. What? Hello? There they are. There they come in. Woo, boy, they're all in there. I got a lot of aperture lights. Okay, so I gotta find the ones named. Okay, so plant. Okay, here we have the plant. That is the plant back there in the corner. You can see it. It's green. It's now red. It's now blue. It's nice. It doesn't flash. Yeah, I mean, super handy. The chair lamp. Let's go to the chair lamp. Boop. It's the light right next to the chair lamp. It's a little greenish on purpose to give just a little bit of that rainbow color throw up vomit on that everybody loves so much. Plus, I like to keep it, you know, turned down so that it doesn't blow out the sensor channels, because like you take it blue and you go all the way out, it turns white because it's basically clipping. I like the soft colors, the beautiful colors, just like that. I mean, I love the B7Cs. These things are, they're a bright idea, and they're actually really affordable. I did a whole video on them Also in that video is my alter egos. So if you like alter egos, you should watch those on the Aperture B7Cs. Yeah, there's Cowboy Scott, which is Creepy Scott, and then there's a few of me. Beyond Nick says, also from a delivery point of view, most clients request 9x16 and 16x9. So shooting about, yeah, it does. And when you crop in, you're losing all that edge distortion on the edge. That you get some, but not near as much. Which was what was so amazing when I saw full frame anamorphics on V-Raptor. It was freaking gorgeous. What happens to the edges goes beyond. It's wild. The Mole 10K LED 14,000. Yeah, it's big. It's like this big, and they have a 20 as well. Aiden says thank you. You're welcome. Lou says, oh, I love those. Wow, wireless lamps. I didn't think of that. That's the best. And we used them like when on the reality show we did. We used them for gags all the time. So, instead of him actually going over there and turning off the light, which would cause the lamp to shake, he'd put his hand up in there and boop, I'd just pop on it with the light and we'd turn it off. I mean, they're great for that. Oh yeah, Ali, he's so fast. He's so fast. Yeah, it's great. That'd be worth every penny. Do I have an affiliate link? Lewis, the affiliate link I have is for that would be B&H. Use my B&H link below, and then you could buy the B7Cs from them. Otherwise, just buy from whoever you like. But don't buy Aperture off of Amazon. Don't. They're not Aperture. They are gray market. They've been acquired in less than scrupulous ways and are not warranted, and sadly, they're not correct. I had a friend, sadly, who bought a Nova, and it died on him like a week after. Or no, it was like I think 30 days after he bought it, and Amazon refused to help him. He sent it to Aperture to get it fixed, and Aperture's like, "This is not our product," and it had been dropped and repaired, and yeah, it was bad. I felt really bad for him. And Beyond Nick says, "Gotta love those VistaVision sensors." Hey, buddy, what's up? You gonna lay down there? We can put the puppy cam on. Let's put the puppy cam on. Yay, we got a puppy. So we're gonna puppy cam it. There we go. Well, I don't want me in the back or him in the background. Let's do that. There we go. Got your puppy cam. What is? Oh, those are the towels. I was like, what is that on the floor? Sorry, Eric. You can't call me while I'm on the live stream. Thanks for the Pro Light review. Yep, we have used them over the last couple of jobs. Aren't they though? They are. You don't realize how good they are. And I don't know how to phrase that. Aperture makes really nice lights. They're really nice. They're daylight and they're tungsten. It looks really nice. But there's something about the Pro Light. It's a little nicer on the daylight and the on skin tones. There's something about it. It just is a little. No, it's just a little. It's a little nicer, and yeah, it's amazing. I can't wait to see what they do next. Yeah, I mean, if you're interested in a Pro Light, reach out to me. I might be able to squeeze you in a deal and get you a good price on them if you're interested. But the Pro Lights are neat, and having RGB focusable, it's kind of nice. Kind of nice. Lewis says, "Oh, okay, good to know. No aperture on Amazon. Go to B&H now. Wonder my aperture light broke. I bought. Yeah, it's sad. They tried to sell on there, and Amazon would not do anything about the gray market stuff and the off stuff. So they said, fine, we're just going to pull and no more. That way, don't buy from Amazon. Yeah, they're it's not good, not good. Hey, I caught up with the questions. I caught up with all the comments. My nose is stopped up, but maybe the look for this thing really soon. Really soon. Budget friendly. These are very nice. All right, who's got questions? Who's got questions? Thank you for your time, Scott. You bet. Hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Any plans for you? Oh, I'm not. I've still got a little bit of time. I can go a little longer. I was almost going to enjoy a. Well, puppy left. Fine. No more puppy cam. He makes his way. He knows. I don't know how. He knows 5:30, and around 5:30 he goes to the door because he knows that's when his mama comes home. And even though she was just in here petting him, it's his routine. He does it. So who's got more questions? Who's got more stuff? What excites me lately, and what brings you joy? What excites me lately? What excites me lately? What excites? That's a good and a tough question. What brings me joy is creating anything. And creating a great photo, creating a great little film, creating music, creating artwork like these, like I do these, and I might sell these one day. If anybody wants to commission one, it might be fun for a little bit. I mean, I love making those pour overs, and I love making it crooked on the. Well, that's funny. Perspective. It's totally crooked, but it looks like it's straight. So that's the kind of stuff that brings me joy, and honestly, excitement for me and my brain. Because I don't know if you can tell, I'm going 100 miles an hour at all times. Everything excites me if I'm paying attention to it. I believe that would be the standard ADHD response. What are your plans for V-Raptor rigs? So I'm going to keep it really light, really light. I am going to do the red monitor. I will do some type of handle on the side, and that's it. That's my plans for it. I don't want it big. I love how small I can make Komodo, and even Dragon. Right now, it's got a giant lens on it, but I love to make it as small as possible because it weighs less, and I can throw them in my backpack. I can put both in there. I have done that. I have put the Sony, the Komodo, and the Dragon all in one backpack and hiked it. It was weighing about 40 pounds, but yeah. Learning new things gives me joy. That's why I'm here, Scott. Lewis, you're kind of making me have some joy right now. Just all the compliments, which you don't have to do. Don't worry. I learned so much from you in the community. Yeah, the community's great. I love this community. They're so good. They're so nice. There's so many people. You mentioned there may be a different option than ProLight optical spot for the 300 Bowen's mount. Can you? The aperture. The aperture spot it works fantastically with the ProLight. And I'm not trying to bash on ProLight, but I don't think they spent a lot of time developing their projection. I have it right there. I have the aperture one's back here. That is not it. There it is. There. So it loses too much. So this is their design. There's a lot of things that it's not. So right off the bat, you got a tiny like front element there. So that's not going to put out a lot of light. Then you have the method by which they install, which is going to be hard to see, but like just how the gobos go in. It's I don't know if you can see it. It's just kind of you can kind of miss it. You can stick it wrong place. It just doesn't feel like it's a refined product. It works. It does. It does its thing. But the light output on this versus the light output from the aperture spotlight on the Pro Light, day and night. It is so much brighter. I was running it. I'm sure everybody loves to go back and watch old live streams. But I was running that on several live streams way back before I did the Pro Light review, when the light was blue. And one of the things that I enjoyed most, it got cold in here. Wow. One of the things I enjoyed most was the video replay that it does. So you sample I'm putting my jacket on. You sampled the sky and then you play it back. And so I thought that was like really slick at selling sky behind you, the sky coming through a window, because you can have clouds going in and out, and the color temperature varies slightly, and it's constantly changing. And it's the subtle things that you as a human do not look for. You are not going, that's clearly fake. Come on, I'm not buying that. But when they happen, it sells it, and it makes you far more you believe it more. It sucks you in. Lewis is like, yeah, I enjoy smaller rigs. Yep. I didn't go to film school. I learned everything from you. And I didn't go to film school. What was the purchase that changed your life in the last 18 months? Could be one over 150 and one under 150. Anything you would gift. Last 18 months that changed your life. Man, that's tough. That's tough. You're always with the tough questions. I'm looking around because I'm trying to visualize what changed my life. Technically, Komodo is over 18 months now, isn't it? That one would definitely. Man, I don't know. I don't know. Changed my life. I don't know, Lewis. You'll have to ask me another day, because I'm not clicking to anything. Everything changes my life is the truth. Like Velcro, it's changing my life right now. I just can't think of anything that stands out so much. Photo changed my life. Well, it didn't change my life. It changed my attitude. How about that? It changed my attitude on how I shoot and how I could shoot, and so many other things. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. Color sampling, 2 thumbs up. Art says, I would have guessed Komodo. I mean, that's where I had to land, but I think that was over 18 months ago, was it not? I'd have to go back. I swear that's over 18 months. Yeah, because, wasn't it? I mean, everything 2020 is a blur. So 2020, I don't know. Yeah, because I got it like August of 2020. Man, now you got to make me look. This is the only way I want to know. Videos. I'm just going to go to my videos and find my Komodo, find out when I got it. It was before that. There it is. Red Komodo, July 29th. I got it that day, and I unboxed it. Well, actually, yeah, I think I uploaded it that day. So, yeah, the 29th of July. So that doesn't count in the 18 months. So, yeah, but I threw it in there anyway. For me, it would be 2 under 150 would be the Aperture MX and Sprigs. Interesting. I mean, I really like the MCs. They are one of my favorite lights because I use these everywhere. They're fantastically small. They stick to everything because they're magnetic. The only negative to these MCs is I wish they hadn't gotten the OLED displays because they burn them in, or they burn in when they're sitting charging, and that kind of stinks. But yeah, it's cool. Art says you pick it up and your philosophy changes. Yeah, that's like the same thing as the attitude adjustment. It changed you. Changed you. It's so different and so powerful and so simple that order your Komodo today. That's right. It was the end of 2020 for me. Yeah, around July. Yep, and yep, yeah. Yeah, I had to look it up. I was like, everything's a blur now because like 2020 and then 2021 wasn't a whole lot better than 2020. It was wild, and now we're in 2022, and we're all like, "This is weird. This is weird. Life is weird nowadays." Ooh, my Amaran 60p arrived last week. Nice. Did you 60p? Is it the P60C, the color one, or the not color one? I thought you were getting a color one, right? It should be the P60C. So that's yeah, that's cool. I like those. I have the bicolor right there. You can see it right there. You can actually see the light beam because there's still a little bit of fog in the air. P60C. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's impressive, isn't it? For what it is, it's it's the Mini Nova. It absolutely is, and it's cool. It's powerful. It's really bright for what it is. It is blue. It is green. I don't know why I loved that skit. Everybody gives me such crap for that skit. I just enjoy doing fun things, and then when one person gives me crap, and then I'm like, well, I can't ever do that again. And then like other people will say, when are you gonna do that again? And I'm like, I can't do it again because someone made fun of me. Let's see. Now I'm wanting the 60D. I am more excited for the 60D than I was for the 600D, which I haven't used once. Really? You're not getting enough where you need that much power? Because I mean, it is a intentional. When you get above the 300, it's intentional that you need a 600 or a 1200. It has to be specific. It's because otherwise you're just using them turned down. But that's not a problem. You can turn them down. Brandon says, I got the P60C and I was honestly a little disappointed. The only thing that I don't like about the P60C, Brandon, is the mount. I don't like that, but the light output, I actually dig it a lot. What didn't you like about it, Brandon? I think the quarter 20 screw-on mount, don't particularly care for that. And when I got them, it was well, when I got them, I can say all this now. I opened them up, I powered them on, and I sent my contact a message, and I said, "Holy crap! I think you're going to sell a lot of these lights." And then the second thing I said was, "Oh my God, I do not like this mount." It's kind of fun. That's the kind of stuff that I share. I let like Aperture, I let them know my thoughts, because some of the stuff it's to help them, because we may get pre-production units, and I want to make sure that it helps, because there's definitely been a few things that were really strange. Like I had a problem that apparently no one else had, and I reported it in because they needed to know. But my reviews are 100% mine. I don't let them know. I let them know what I don't like, and if there's a fix for it, then they can tell me about it. But yeah. Whoops. Hope Aperture announced the tubes at NAB. They might. The skit was fire. You definitely need to do it again. Well, thank you. I might do it again, King, now, because, we get a puppy cam back. Yay, Rexy, good boy. He's like, no one's going to leave me. Tommy, buddy, thank you for the sticker. Were you watching the whole time, or did you just come in late? Because I talked about you earlier. We were talking about, Tommy has the M1, and he's the one deciding on the Ultra, or the not Ultra, on the Studio. I used the 600 with a 180 softbox last week and love the looks it gives. Yeah, the 180, the 150, you mean? Yeah, that I have a love-hate with that 150. I love what the look that it gives, and I don't like how big it is. It's so big and cumbersome to build as one person. You can do it, but yeah, it's cumbersome for sure. Yeah, I had to send one of mine back for repairs, Tommy. Yep, but still love them. Brandon says mount sucked. I was disappointed with battery life only because I was told an hour with the 9. Yeah, it's not an hour. It's like 40 minutes. I haven't gotten anywhere close to that, and I've tested a ton of different batteries and the customer. You should get about 40 off of that at full blast. Well, back it down off to like 90%. It's kind of amazing. It gives you quite a bit more. The mount is tough. Like Tommy said, I know Tommy's troubles. I mean, Aperture is suffering right now with that whole supply chain thing, and they have such a backlog of repairs. So I understand when people are frustrated with it, because it's Brandon, service sucked. Yeah, it is really tough for them, and I feel for them. But I mean, any company's got to come up with solutions, and that's fair. How big was the space beyond Mick, and what percentage did you run of that? Interesting. Just came on. I got you. Okay. I was shooting in a workshop and blasting it through a silk as well, and I used the 600D on full bore. Yep. Thanks, Nick. Tommy's was a Bluetooth issue. Interesting. I didn't hear that one. So I have this one right here has been acting up on Bluetooth as well. I'm waiting to see if a firmware update will fix it. It's a little quirky. The C, which is in that CD at the moment, C works great. The bicolor is quirky with Bluetooth, and I don't know what that is. Let's see here. It is definitely overkill for me, so I can't use it. I'm considering the Nova, but wanted to see the P60C fits the bill. I bet you if the 600D is overkill, then you might like the P60C. No, if the 600D is overkill, then the P60C might just be right up your alley, King, because it's got a lot of output. It can do quite a bit. The Nova is almost twice as bright as the P60C. Is that right? No, it's brighter. Yeah, it's brighter. It's more than twice as bright. Yeah. The Nova is heavy, and it's big, but it's pretty. It's really pretty. The 600 is really, really bright. But the 600, the Nova 600 and like the 1200D, they're very purposeful lights as well as the 600s. It stopped connecting to Citus. Interesting, Tommy. That's the problem I have. Interesting. Scott, have you used the Nova 300C? I think it's like, yeah, I have the 300 and the 600 over here. I like the 300 a lot. The 300 has an extraordinary amount of usability. I would say though, unless you're lighting with something really large, like if you're going through a big silk, I'm grabbing some things. If you're going through a silk, or a big 8x or something like that, the Nova may be, I'm grabbing the 600, sorry, but the 300 may be overkill for a lot of times. So this is the 600, and it is a full beast, and I have not done my review on it yet. For a couple of reasons, nothing negative. It's going to be reviewed after I finish a particular job that I am waiting on. I do really like that they have now incorporated the control box for the 600 wireless. It's got a quick connect. So you don't have to run the cable like you do on the 300. It is a big, heavy light. This thing, and it's only for junior pen. It's a big honking light, and it has the output. This thing is insanely bright. I'm going to put it back down because I don't have any desk space over there. There we go. I do like the Nova, though. I use the Nova more times than I use the 600. Because, again, the 600 reaches that area where you have to be very specific. It has to be a need for that much light. Beyond says, love the look of the Nova. Holding out for the 600 personally. Love the idea of a soft RGB WW panel. Yep. The sky panels are much bulkier, to be fair. It is true. They are bigger and wider, but I mean, they're older. The output on the 600 is more than an S60 too. It's pretty bright. Tommy Mine is doing that. Interesting, Brandon. Okay, well, I'm gonna reach out and find out what's going on, because that is interesting. Didn't know that. I didn't know other people were having this issue. Usually I'm kind of cruising around the Aperture groups, and I have not seen many people complain about that. But then again, they don't allow support questions in the group either. So yeah, I guess that's probably why I'm not hearing about it. Interesting. I wonder how widespread this is. That's interesting. The 600 is like 3,000. Yeah, I think it's 3,300. I mean, it's beast. I don't have. I will demo it on Oh my gosh, boy, I'm reading future. I will demo it, Brandon, like I did last week with the 1200D over here, but not today. Gerald says his quit connecting to Citus as well. Interesting. Have any of y'all updated to the latest version of Citus Link? Because I see that they're really pushing the new version, so I wonder if there's anything like that. I never used Citus. Did it? Didn't it? No. So you can still use the basic Citus Link. It's still free, and it does. That's what I use. Yeah, I was very against the paid service, but the paid service stuff is for like when you're doing really large setups and you have to share it with a bunch of people. Then yeah, no, you don't have to go to the paid service. Expect delays if you send them in for repairs and set money in January and still waiting. Yeah. Oh, I won't send it in if there's going to be delays. I'll just hold on to it. I mean, I can work around it. It's not ideal because I like my Citus Link, but I mean, there's 4 people here with the same exact problem, and yeah, I'll see what I can find out. Brandon, expect delays. Yeah, okay, yeah. That's interesting. Four people. Anybody else got a problem with it yet? Interesting. Because my C is working. My C is not having any problems with the Citus Link, but my bicolor does. It doesn't even show up. And I've reset it. I've done everything that you're supposed to do, and it won't connect. So, yeah, that's a little saddening. Saddening. And that's probably why there's a huge delay on repairing them, because there's probably more than 4 of us. Okay, who's got 6:11? It's getting close to dinner time. I know Rex is ready to go. Rex, what are you thinking, Rex? What are you doing? Hey, quit chewing. What are you doing, dog? Psst, psst. Yeah, I'm gonna lay down. All right, anybody got any last questions or comments or anything else? What to talk about? Brandon was specifically referring to their customer service that sucked. Yeah, I mean, I cannot defend bad customer service. Don't get me wrong. I do know that the supply chain has absolutely destroyed the support in Aperture, and they're desperately trying to do things to make it better. So there is light at the end of the tunnel, but that does not help customers. I get it. So I definitely feel you here. Scott, I'm looking for a more powerful panel for a top-down room. Oh wow, the 600s. Yeah. 600 is going to be king. It pulls about 650, 660 watts. About 650. Really bright. And it's 4 panels in there. So like the Nova 300 is 1. So all of your animations that happen on them happens just 1. On the Nova 600, it's 4 panels in there. So you can animate each one differently. And it's kind of cool. Especially for a top-down, you could get some cool effects going overhead. Or if you're just talking about top-down products, then actually that'd be kind of cool too. I actually did try that now. That's why I was asking. Yep. Okay. I'm running the latest on iPad, I believe. Interesting. Sound isn't an issue. It's louder than the Nova because it has 2 fans in it. it's probably close to about a 600D or a 600X in loudness. I need to buy a freaking sound pressure level meter. Just need to do it. I mean, I've got one on my phone, but I don't find it that accurate. Yeah, because people want to know. They need to know real things. Scott, please do more of your skits for your product reviews. I am well aware they can be time consuming, but some of them I really do enjoy. Some of us really do enjoy. They're not that time consuming. I mean, they're more they're more about what I think I'd get away with versus not. And I talk myself out. I mean, creepy cowboy Scott. I mean, you could just tell that guy is up to no good most of the time, and he's going to do some really, really questionable things. And it's just whether I feel like I can get away with it. But I will. I do enjoy doing them. I mean, the first time I get a smiley face or one of those LOL and then the timestamp, first time I get those on the videos, it's all worth it at that point until like one person comes by and goes, "You think you're funny, but you're really not." I would agree with King. Is there a super powerful panel that is just daylight? Light mats. Light mats are, they're going to be pricey though, but you can get light mats really big. And there's another one, a cheaper Falcon Eyes, I think. They're flexible. They're not rigid like that. But if you're doing them top down, you're basically mounting them permanently, then a light mat or a Falcon Eyes might just work for you. Those are daylight only, and they're pretty bright. Just for top down B-roll. I got you. How big are your products going to be? Because I mean, the 300 is more than adequate for any kind of tabletop, top down. But if you're doing like a full person wearing clothes top down, which would give a cool look, by the way, the 600s are definitely more up the alley. I have to do a lot of that for my channel, and setting something up each time is annoying, so I'm making a tiny room for it. I get you. I can definitely understand that. I was sidetracked. I was not subscribed to you, Brandon, so I wanted to go subscribe to you real quick before I forgot. I want to check out what you're doing. It's cool stuff. Let's see. 9x16. Ugh. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, 300 might work just fine for you. I like, when I do my top-down stuff, I have the Nova above with a 4x4, like a 4x4 full grid to give it that really big soft, and that's plenty. You were making us consider selling the Emotimo for the Kessler? Just not sure. You're making us consider selling the Emotimo for I can tell you Emotimo makes a nice product, but I can tell you in 90% of every way, the Kessler far exceeds the Emotimo. Eric is going to shoot me. Soon, very, very soon, it's going to be 100%. Yeah. In every way. More details soon. Yeah. Don't shoot me, Eric. Ollie says Kessler for life. As always, I sincerely appreciate the help. Oh, anytime, Brandon. Most of my stuff is tiny. I like tiny though. Tiny is fun. I don't have it here. I'm getting into stop motion, so tiny is a lot of fun. Got to bounce. This is fun, Brandon. Everyone enjoying. Go buy a Komodo. Yes, everyone go buy a Komodo. Oh, thank you, Brandon. Thank you. I greatly appreciate you for helping out the channel. I really do. Thank you so much. It's very helpful. Beyond Nick says, love hanging out, man. Great stream. Got to go see the next one. Take care, Brandon and Beyond. It was a pleasure. Be safe. Brandon, yep. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you. Ollie says, Scott, up and down. Yeah. I feel like Ollie is trying to get me. He's trying to clue me in up and down, oh. Wait, no, I know, yeah. Oh God, everybody, yeah. Kessler it's the best. That's all I can say. I mean, everything is NDA'd. Every little thing. All I can say is check boxes are getting checked off, and I mean it's a great company. It's a great group of people. Great products. They want to solve problems. And I mean, there's going to be some cool stuff that was promised, other stuff that was not promised. It's cool. Yeah, go buy a Komodo. There's if you want to buy a Komodo, please don't buy one on Amazon. I don't think you can. Use B&H affiliate link down below. Thank you, Art. Ollie says, you said enough. I have not said a thing. I don't know anything. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to get in trouble. Thank you for everything, Scott. I am more than happy. There's future. I don't know. I think what you were really trying to say, Ollie, was thumbs up or thumbs down on the video, I think is what you were meaning. And yeah, I think there should be more thumbs up on the video. I agree. If only I could buy a Komodo, everything in time. Maybe not today, maybe tomorrow. You never know. Opportunities always arise when you least expect them, and when you just keep going, keep working, keep trying, keep practicing your craft, all of that. It all works out in the end. I would have never thought of buying a Komodo on Amazon. I don't think anybody would, but you just it's a thing. Yes, thumbs up. Sorry, it's late here. My English no good. Nothing to see here. Move along. Signing off, my friend. Until next time. Yeah. It sounds like a good idea. At least I have light. Yep. Well, lights are more important than camera. Trust me. Lights are very much more important than camera. Okay. I think it's a great time to, listen, just because you don't have it today doesn't mean you can't get it. Someday, one day. That's right. Absolutely. Yeah, all right. This is a great time to end it, and wish everyone a wonderful, happy, and enjoyable weekend. Happiness, filled with laughter, and what's his name, the magician? Go watch his videos if you can find them. if what was his name, Ollie? Dadgummit. If you find and watch his videos, you will unlock Scott's brain. That's literally how I think all the time and how I am. Thank you for everyone for joining up. Peace out, Scott. I'll be a regular. Thank you. I appreciate that. Mike Finney. Yes, Mike Finney. If you can find Mike Finney and watch one of his comedy magic routines, you will have unlocked how Scott's brain is all the time. It's literally, I walk around, my wife will do something, and I'll crack a joke, and then use a very, very heavy level of sarcasm. It's like, I bet that hurt, didn't it? I bet you wish you could have done that. That's literally how I operate. That's also Cowboy Scott. Or Creepy Scott, as he can be. Yeah, so everyone have a fantastic weekend. Remember to support, subscribe, like, all that good stuff, and use the affiliate links and all that good stuff. If you're going to buy Komodos using the B&H link, or you can just buy from Red. Or any of your favorite dealers. I'm not particular. I will happily take the affiliate from B&H, but buy where you got to buy. And, as always, as I like to leave it, don't let your passions center around your life. Let your life center around your passions. Oh, and I do voiceover. Oh, and I do voiceovers too. And thanks, Ollie, for helping out always. Everyone, have a great weekend. Goodbye. Wow, that was